Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're back. Another trading recap. I know I've been slacking, but we're gonna bring these back. I'm gonna do these every single trading session. I'm gonna come on here and just talk to you guys about what trades I took, what I did, what was going on in my mind, all of that. And if you guys could take any value from it, that's all. That's all I'm here for, man. All right. So let's start off on the higher time frame right here. So we could see price reacted off of this demand zone right here. I had all these markings out from before. This demand zone. Why is this a demand zone? Because it broke this high up here. It caused this bullish break. So this is the extreme demand zone, because if price breaks below here, then as you can see, we're going to be bearish for a long time, because that's a significant low that it has to break. Over here, we can see price induced this zone. So this was inviting smart money traders into the market right here. They wanted to tell them, oh, buy, buy, buy. They came in, price gave a little reaction, came all the way down, and now price has been reacting from this 4-hour demand. Okay, now let's zoom in a little bit on more recent price action. What can I see? I can see this is all lower time frame stuff, but this is in the past. We're going to focus on just the higher time frame for this section. We could see price came down, swept this low, came up, made a retracement. There was a potential supply zone right here, which I'm going to mark out. Potential area for supply. Price came in here, gave a little rejection, consolidated for a bit, but then last Tuesday, price shot up, broke this supply zone. So this was a smart money trap as well, and reached higher highs. So let's drop down to the 15-minute, more recent price action. What can we see? Price is trending bullish off of this higher time from demand. That's what we can see. All right, so this is where we're at right now. Let me go into replay mode real quick. All right, so this is what I saw coming into the market. Second. Okay, 9 a.m. This is what I saw coming into the market for my pre-session today. I saw price broke structure here, came down, produced this low, broke structure again. Price came down, potential higher low right here. Instead, it came up, created liquidity up here with the Asian highs, equal highs up here, came down, made a lower high, broke structure again, came down into this potential demand zone. Now, what could I see? Asian session came in, was moving bearish. Price action then during the London session, let me move down a little bit more. We could see price came down here, swept the Asian session lows, went up, made a high. It did break this high, but nothing too significant. Came down, swept this low again, and then we saw a bullish move. Nice bullish move right there. All right. Now, what can I see? I have it all marked out. Bearish price action, bullish, a nice bullish move. Came down, made equal lows right here, another nice bullish move. Now, with all this going on the lower time frame from this potential demand zone, I did not forget about this supply zone up here. So this is a supply zone. This was a lower high that led to a lower low that broke structure. So I have that in mind. So right now, what can I see? I can see there's equal lows formed here. There's a demand zone right there. But because of these equal lows, I'm hesitant to enter aggressively off of this demand zone. I don't want to aggressively enter. I want to wait for confirmation when my session arises. If it even pulls back to here, we'll see. So it's 9:10. I'm going to go down to the 1 minute now. As you can see, there's a supply zone above, potential demand zone over here, but there's this bullish leg right there. So let's see. We're going to skip down to 9:30 because I don't usually trade before 9:30, the New York Stock Exchange open. Let's see. Okay, 9:30 candle, boom, bearish. Very strong bearish momentum. But I'm not going to look to short because we haven't reached the supply zone up here. Okay? So let's move through price. Let's see what happens. We could see price came up, came down, mitigated this demand zone. Now, what does it look like? You see these big bearish candles. Is this smart for me to enter aggressively off of this zone? First off, knowing there's equal lows with this demand zone. Second off, Given the nature of these candles, I am not entering aggressively. Because if I entered, look what would have happened. We would have got taken out right there. So that's why it's very important to wait for your 1 minute time frame confirmations when you're taking trades. So now we have this swept right here. This was an inducement. 1 second, let me mark this back up. I'm going to mark this as a smart money trap because it induced buyers into the market and they swept them. So now what did I do? I just waited patiently. I'm not rushing into anything. I'm going to see what price prints because we got an inducement, which is significant. And now I'm waiting for a 1 minute bullish break of structure. Because we're trending bullish off of this demand zone, I'm going to look for buys now because we got the inducement. So now let's see. Still bearish. One candle at a time. Okay, so at this moment, what was I looking for? If this high was broken, I would enter buys. Why? It was a low, lower high, lower low. If the lower high gets broken after an inducement, we're gonna look for buys. So let's see what price does. Boom, we get that break that I was looking for. Now, where did I enter? I entered off of this demand zone right here. Stretch it out a little bit. Little bit of breathing room. And I'm going to talk about the take profits, but that was my entry right there. All right. Given this inducement right here, which swept that smart money trap. Now let's see what price does. Do we get an entry? Do we get an entry? Price taps me in right there after the bullish break. Beautiful. Okay. Now I'm entered into the trade. What am I thinking? I'm in an evaluation account. The daily max profit I can make is 1,000. So I risked about 250, I want to say. Between 200 and 250. So what was I doing? Initially, I was just looking to make that 1,000. So we had this liquidity up here, which is valid, but price does not have to sweep this liquidity today. Also, considering NFP releases tomorrow, which is going to be a huge injection of liquidity into the market, this might get taken out tomorrow. It doesn't have to get taken out today. There doesn't need to be a big move today because there's no news today either. So, yeah, so I had a target somewhere around here for 5R to make about 1,000, right? That was my initial target. However, I know that I'm supposed to be risking. I'm supposed to be taking profits at 3R. Either I take a 50% partial or full profits, but that's a part of my edge. But when you get greedy, when you're looking to rush things, it's easy for you to extend your take profits way further than you should. So I came into my senses after. I'm like, come on, I got to lock in. So I had a target of about 3R right here, 3R. So I'm like, I need to stop being greedy, follow my edge, and take profits at 3R. So that's what I did. So if we got a break above this high right here, I was going to move to break even. That was my break even level right here. This was my take profit up here. Let's see what happens. Let's see price showing nice rejections. Boom. Let's see what time it was. 9:59. The 9 a.m. candle, the hourly candle was closing very bullish, which is a good sign. It's showing that buyers have strength right now because it opened over here, opened at these highs. Liquidity sweep, recovery. That's what we like to see. Let's see. Price hit break even. Stops are now at break even for me, so risk is off on this trade. We're very close to the take profit as well. Just let it play out. Boom, right there. 3RR take profit. Easy. Now, I did take another trade after this because, as you know, I had this overall supply zone marked. And I knew this was most likely going to get taken out, like eventually, but it also warned, like I wanted to take shorts because it could warrant a bearish sell-off from here as well, because this is a valid supply zone. I don't think it's the most valid because we're reacting off of demand, but I entered aggressively with lower risk as well. I already took a win on the day on this trade, and this was just because I'm on an evaluation and I wanted to reached the 1,000. And I took profits already. I'm just risking profits right now, which I was willing to do. So I entered off of this candle right here, this doji candle on the 1 minute, just an aggressive entry, made sure to cover the highs on this supply zone. What happened? Bearish, bearish, bearish. Boom. Nice and quick, 2R. So I made 3R here off of these buys, off of this inducement, and then an aggressive entry off of this supply zone, made 2R. Up 5R for the day. Now, let's say I stayed greedy, right? And I had that initial take profit. I didn't take any partials, nothing, right? 5R. What would have happened? Now let's move back a little bit. 1 second. Okay, right here. This is my problem. I see price moving in my favor. It's all good. You're thinking it's gonna hit full TP, right? It reaches this supply zone. Taps into the supply zone. Oh, it's bullish. We have this break over here. Nothing can go wrong, right? It's gonna blast to my take profit. However, what happens? Reaction, bearish candles, and you start panicking. At this point, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get stopped out. I should have taken profits. This is why I have this 3RR protocol in place, to protect my mind, to protect my psychology, to protect me from the pains of unrealized gains. I was floating this much profit. Now all that was taken away from me. Unless you close the trade, that money is not yours. You see it floating, changing around, that money is not yours until you close the trade. Which is why, after a lot of pain of unrealized gains, we have to implement the 3R rule. Now, of course, I could have held this trade, no problem, but I would have to take 50% partials at 3R. That's the rule. I have to secure something. There's no reason to put in all this work just to be left with nothing. You're leaving money on the table. It doesn't make any sense. Let's see what happens. Boom. Literally one tick away from stopping me out. I might have got stopped out, depending on where my entry exactly was. And then what happens? Let's see. Price goes all the way back up. Breaks structure once again. You see? Like, you see how this might drive you mad? You go up here, you get stopped out, price goes in your favor. All because you wanted to be greedy, you wanted to hold it, you didn't want to follow your plan and take profits at 3R. Now let's see what happens the rest of the day. Just to see. Does my take profit get hit? Imagine your take profit of 5R then comes this close and then comes all the way back down. You're gonna go crazy. This trade right here is gonna drive you crazy. And this is like live. This is a real trade I took. I could have saved all that headache, take 3R, and then be quick on my feet, take a quick short, make the 5R right here. I'm done with the day. Easy. Instead, if I stayed with that, if I broke because my rules is I have to take profits at 3R. Either 50% partial or full profits. That's my rules. I know that based on data, based on back testing, all that. So why would I get greedy and hold for longer and take no profits? It's just going to drive me crazy. After this, I'm going to look for re-entries, do this, do that. It's just a recipe for disaster psychologically. And it takes a while to recover from. Once you do this and then you make bad decisions, you take revenge trades, it's just terrible. Let's see what happens. Whatever, price is just moving around. I'm pretty sure the day ended like pretty, I don't know. I actually don't know. Let me see. All this headache. It's just a big consolidation. You see this? And I would have got stopped out at break even after all that. If I didn't get stopped out over here, I wouldn't have taken profits, and I would have gotten stopped out right here. This is all just a consolidation. Let's go to the factory real quick. I just want to show you guys. As you can see, news tomorrow, non-farm employment change, a big news event, PMI. Today there was no news, so that's most likely why price gave you a trade. But you need to learn when to take profits. You must take profits at where you tell yourself you're going to. 3R. That's your rules. That's your edge. Follow that. So that's the main lesson for today. These two trades I took today were up 5R. It was a great trading day. Followed the process beautifully. Stayed patient. Didn't enter aggressively off of here. Waited for the proper confirmations. beautiful entry. Everything was great. The best thing was my take profits. I made sure to follow my rules and it paid off. Even if it doesn't pay off, I know in the long run it's going to make me more profitable. So appreciate you guys for watching. Stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace.